My friend, I am nonplussed. I am gobsmacked. I am stultified. I am transfixed. I am forever in amazement. You hear what I'm saying? Amazement. Thank you, my darling. Amazement. This is the today's episode 7. Candace was Torquemada. You know, I'm not going to bring. Please, I shouldn't say this. You know that Satan was God's prosecutor until things went bad. It was. She was like Rudy Giuliani. She was Louis Nizer, some of the great trial lawyers of all time. She was Philip Corboy. Unbelievable. That is exactly what I wanted. She said at one point, in a moment of complete and total desperation, she says, I just can't take it. Stop the lying. Stop the lying. Why are you lying about this? Why are you lying? You don't have to lie. Why are you saying you never dated? It doesn't matter. You bring it up. You can't. She wanted to. Another thing too, a little thing. She wanted to bring her kids to TPUSA so her kids can meet or see where daddy worked. Oh, and she wants to meet the people who took care of her kids. Wait a minute, what? She said that's no place for kids to be. Charlie wasn't there. He was in the other building. I mean, she takes mendacity and lying and this pathological, just this obstruction of truth, and just destroys it for no reason. That's the one. I've known people. I know people who say things that don't make any sense. I hear stuff sometimes. I wonder, where did this come from? Why are you lying about this? This is precisely what I wanted. This was, you see her and then you comment on it. That was it. Nothing. No Laurie Franz or any of those other people. Nothing. No LLC. No Tyler Caldwell, Buffington, whoever these people are. Nothing. The star of the show, the star is Erika. She doesn't know what reality is. She doesn't know what it is. She can't tell the truth. And she says, I don't think she said I'm a single parent, but Charlie's, she's a gazillionaire. Charlie's life insurance one was 10 mil. Tucker raised what, 5? She's got more money. What are you talking about? This is this unmitigated. Why are you doing this? Why? Are you pretending? Is this some improv? Are you trying out a new act? Tonight I'm going to spend, like she's some single mom. I got to go to work. And I was a successful, oh, by the way, this is where Candace goes, it was the most fantastic, where she says, I was a single mom. I was a single mom. And I started my business. You didn't start your business. I've got your first LLC. You didn't do it. You didn't do it until later. You're lying. You're a liar. Mentira. Mentira. You're a liar. It never happened. It was unbelievable. You can't even, no, you don't even lie. When somebody asks you a question, you just make it up. You just on your own, out of nowhere. Then I keep thinking about that Dan Bangina. Remember him? You die in hell. You schmuck. Did you hear this? Nobody came after her because she's a widow. She's a liar. And you think, and I'll bet you these stupid idiots at TPUSA Conman, whoever these people are, I'll bet you they're too stupid to realize. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? This woman, there's something very wrong. Let me tell you something. Somebody may say, should she have custody of her kids? I mean, is she lying about, did you take your kids to the doctor? Sure, I did. On a spaceship, on a Leviathan of gilded wings and oh my God. Unbelievable. I'm serious. I can't believe what we're talking about here. Let me say very quickly, I got a little bit. Hello, Conspiratorium. There's Raul Rodriguez. We got a new member, ISOTAB. Thank you, my friend. Here he goes. Veritas mea lux. Truth is the light. Thank you, yes. Cusque tandem abutere Catalina patientia nostra. The Catalinic oration. Remember this? How long do we have to put up with this nonsense? Somebody writes, D writes, widowed when my son was 2. The grief never leaves. Watching Erika mock widowhood is painful for those of us still living it. Absolutely. Oh, Candace is so impressed with you. I did not. I missed that. Oh my God, I missed it. I must go back and hear what she said. I'm impressed with her, obviously, by virtue of this. I was listening today assiduously, and then I got sidelined by calls. I'm going to go back. That is so wonderful. Candace loves Lionel as much as we do. Unbelievable. Thank you. Damn it, I missed it. I knew something was up. Took the kids to the doctor on a spaceship. Yep. This is incredible. This blows my mind. We've seen some liars before. We have seen some liars, but this is another story. And today she was perfect. Perfect. You know what it is? I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. First, she's one of the best. You have to have some form of notes or something in front of you, whether it's a prompter or something, in order just to keep the facts straight. You don't want to get up there and just hem and haw. Say, let me see. That was no. She can read better than anybody's business. I've been doing this. Some people just can't do it. They don't know how to. She is so prepared. So prepared. It's unbelievable. But the best part about that, she says that these things that go to the heart. That's the thing. And I can't put enough emphasis on it. She goes for the juggler. She goes right for that thing that really makes it make sense. See, this is the problem. Everything that she said so far has been incredible. Candace showed your channel at the end and said wonderful things about you. Woohoo. God bless her. I can't believe that I was doing something. Well, I'm going to go back and watch. Well, thank you, Candace. She was here last night. And all of a sudden I was like, what happened? What? Because I'm watching listen to this. I'm watching me just to make sure, because it's not good when somebody's talking to you like this. So I'm looking at straight ahead of the camera. And all of a sudden I hear people say, woo, woo, woo. I said, yeah, I really said something. I'm thinking, what the hell did I just say? And then I realized she was there. And that's what happened. I wonder if Tyler Robinson's lawyers are watching this series. Oh, they should. You know what? If they want to help him. Oh, wouldn't you love to? I'd love to appear pro hoc. I'm not licensed in Utah, but I could appear pro hoc vice, where I'm a member of Florida, New York, and New Jersey and DC. I can use one of those as a reciprocal kind of you go and you can say, I'll help out. And then Candace could be our paralegal. You know what I mean? Ricky says, congrats, says you are like her granddad too. Oh my God. Like Candace's granddad. That's the greatest thing in the world. What makes you a grandma? I love when people say, you're like my uncle. You're like my aunt, or you're like somebody that you can trust. See, that means more than anything to me. That means more than anything, because grandparents are revered. They take on a status that nobody can understand. Grandparents are just, oh my God, they're the greatest. But let me go back to what's going on right now. This is what I was saying. It's one thing where you don't get it. See, even somebody who was how do I say this? Somebody who's well, let's get down to brass tacks. She's not very smart, right? She's not very smart. I think I told you this. Charlie was talking to a young man about, it was one event, about park rangers. And Charlie, this young man came up to Charlie, and Charlie gave him a time. Charlie didn't say, "Oh, for God's sake, what the hell are you mad with you? You're a kid, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." Never. But this kid says, I understand you want to, the budget and this, and Doge is a great thing, but what about park rangers? And Charlie said, it's a very good question, but as you understand, we're $1 trillion debt. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do a variety of things, and we must, we're not going to get rid of park rangers, but we have to do it. And I agree with you. And the fellow says, well, thank you. And he says, well, thank you. Now, if Erika had said this, she says, one time, I remember when I did my first photo shoot, it was a park. I think it was a park. It was a forest. It was wonderful. I was wearing gold. I wore a Valkyrie helmet. I played Brunhilde. It's like that woman, Kristen Wiig plays that character where she says, when I was on Broadway, and yes, it was about me. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Yes, I remember the Lord. Yeah, the Lord. Did I say the Lord? I got to get 10 Lords in every 5 minutes, right? Can you keep track? Did I say the Lord? Yeah. Jerry, would you check my Lord count? It's the most gratuitous, the most schmaltzy plastic thing I've ever heard in my life. Klaus was eating says, Candace read my comment last on her show tonight and mentioned you in her response. I hope this gains you viewers. I love the team energy. Go Max. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to do it. I can't believe this. Where do you see TPUSA? In a teepee, an actual teepee, one of those Native American, those Plains Indian teepees with the sticks and the buffalo skin and gone. I want to see where is she going to go. I can see where does she go. She does a movie, maybe like a version of Barfly. I hope she doesn't go full Britney Spears on us, but where are they now? Remember Clifford? I'm trying to think of the great scam or Clifford, the fellow who what was his name, honey? The one who he wrote the book about Howard Hughes. Never met Howard Hughes. Clifford Irving. Anyway, Howard Hughes says, he never met me. The guy was one of the best liars ever. Clifford, Howard Hughes. This is my thing now. I'm always Clifford Irving. I was right. Clifford Irving. He made up this story about Howard Hughes. I met Howard Hughes this and Howard Hughes that. I went to the top of the thing with Howard Hughes. What Howard and Howard Hughes. Howard. And Howard Hughes says he finally got on the phone. It was a deposition. You'd hear this old crackly voice. I never met him in my life. I never met him. I can see where are they now. Her name was Erika Kirk. In fact, her insanity became so well known, it became part of a neologism, an idiomatic expression that says you've gone full Erika on us. Your Erika is showing. The full Monty, the full Erika. She went crackers. She went absolutely nuts. And here's the best part about this. She's doing it now. See, I would sit there and I would tell her, look, do me a favor. You can't talk about yourself until I tell you, okay? It's kind of like in a comedy club, and when you're doing a set, the guy who owns the thing flashes this light in the back, and that kind of says, wrap it up. So when she talks, and then Charlie and I, and whenever you see the flash, then you can say something gratuitous about you, how you got your start. She loves to play this. I can't believe people think I'm sexy. There I was just walking down the street singing "Do Wah Diddy." They were duty, and they said, "Hey, Erika, would you like to be?" Well, I don't think you're beautiful. Oh, get up a shot. I'm not. I'm not guilty. What are you talking about? I'm just me. I'm a tomboy. I love to climb trees. That's all I like to do. I'm just a lady of the land. That's it. I just wanna love the Lord. I want to love the Lord. Oh, this is my favorite. I read the Bible chapter cover to cover. Took me 5 years, but and then I said maybe I should go to my pastor. Maybe I should ask my pastor whether he thinks I could uh, should I date this person or something. And then give me a break. You're going to go to a pastor? Yeah, listen, I love that. Yeah, no, you're with the Miami Heat? Yeah, yeah. Look, I'd love to do it. But I got to talk to my pastor. I'm still reading up. Sorry, I got to stay home. I got to read the Bible cover to cover. I can see here with like some really arcane parts of it because some parts of the Pentateuch and those he has seen forsook to the eye of the needle. And you think she's able to just whiz through this on the weekend? Donovan says, where do you see Candace in 5 years? Oh, being not running for office. Do not run for office. Do not ever, 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 ever run for office. If you ever think about running for office, call me and I will fly out and I will have you committed. I will give you some anxiolytic IV. No, you can't. You will be Candace will be one of the most powerful people who would just says, I think we ought to go this direction. What I'd like to see, she will make Catholicism cool again. She will not make Jesus a fad. Lenguita says the conspiracy has so many moving parts. I think Tyler Boyer and Erika and Colvett all knew each other early on. Erika is like righteous gemstones. I don't think they matter. BC says petition to dissolve toilet paper USA. I don't think they matter. I really listen. That may be, but guess who's going to unravel it? She is. Erika did. This is what I was saying. I've been saying this. Let me get in front of a jury. Let me say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you so much for being being with us today and taking time out. I don't have a lot of time to go through everything, but I want to show you a few things here because we want to ask you to find the defendant, Erika Kirk, an habitual liar, somebody who is completely devoid of any ability to differentiate between reality and the like. That's what I'm looking for. And here's my number one, the number one, which is to me is so beyond gratuitously horrible. The casket scene is number one. My beloved wife died and I'm there and I said, you got a camera in here? They're going to have to surgically remove the camera when I get a hold of it. You're going to take a picture of me now? No, you're not. No, you're not. And you're not going to take a picture of her or anybody else on them. Get that camera. Give me that phone. Give me. No. There's some, they say that morality is something is a code of conduct that you do when nobody's looking. And there's a certain realm of behavior that one abides when nobody's looking. And for you to take the death of a child or the death of a wife or a spouse, and it was so transitory, it was so evanescent, it was so it didn't make contact with anything. It didn't land anywhere. Does that make any sense to you? It never took off. There was never any sense of, I don't know what the word is. There was never any sense of how do I say this? It never connected. It didn't connect with anything. You see, one of the things that I find fascinating is that we're able to find out when people are lying. I think Boyer and the team matters because Candace is bringing the whole house down. I doubt if there will be investigations, though. Well, remember, two things are going to happen. If you want to go after the team, they have to do something other than being creepy or weird or strange or criminally effeminate or whatever you want to call it. You need more than that. So, and when you say, I'll bet you they have, well, do me a favor. Don't even worry about that. Just stick with her. I'm going for the jury, and the jury is society. And these people are going to be brutal with her. So that's number one. Number two was, hi, guys. Hi. Hi, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh. Where's my magic tissue? Ooh, hang on a minute. Let me dip it in the mentholatum. Woo, what's strong. Yeah. That's how I spontaneously tear. Well, not too much. There's a bounty for anybody who can find a picture of her with any kind of mucosal, kind of parasympathetic, snot. I'm sorry to be like that. But when you cry, you blow your nose. What do you think they give you a tissue for? For your eyes? No, for to blow your nose. She never blows her nose. Never. It's the most incredible. She's like Prince Andrew, who doesn't sweat. He has inverse bromidrosis. He's different. He doesn't excessively sweat. He doesn't sweat at all. She never blows her nose. I know this may sound crazy. You see, Candace points little things like, wait, stop. You see that? Play back the tape. You notice that? Stop. You see that? You see how she does that? Stop. That's what I love. That's the stuff. When you point out something I didn't see, you say, oh, it's the tell. Did you see that? You see, you probably don't know this, but during the Lewis Schmeling fight, Max Schmeling, remember that? Oh my God. The Nazi versus Joe Louis, the brown bomber. Max Schmeling said every time he drops this, before he knew there was a particular tell. There was something that Joe Louis did, and that's what did him in. That's what did him in. That was the end of him. That was the end of Joe. That was it. That was the end. That was the end of him. Done. Finished. Through. That's it. And then later on, Joe Louis got him back. But it's a tell. It's something that you do. Comedians, remember when people tried to imitate somebody? When they tried to do President Trump. Remember, who was it? Alec Baldwin, who, by the way, can imitate anybody, up to and including Tony Bennett. Great. He did. I can't. Nobody could figure out how to do Trump because, he would do this thing and nobody, until that kind of that fellow Austin Powers Lipschitz or whatever his name was from SNL, who said, no, he goes like this and everybody imitates him. It takes the first version of it. It's like the first person who put Boris Karloff and Antipasto together. And from then on, David Fry, when he did Nixon, that was the standard. Well, this is so. There was one. I wish I could see this. I wish we could have seen this. Bless her heart. And I don't mean this in the classical Southern sense, but Candace was like getting so pissed off. There's a word in West Tampa. It's a Cuban term. Is empingado, which it's not a good word, but it means you're just like pissed off. You're just God. And a couple of times she says, I love that. Oh, I love it when the sense of exasperation hits you to the point where you can't even see straight. You're just so infuriated by this. It's like, how dare you? Do you think we're that stupid? It's like, for God's sakes, woman. Meaning, Erika, come up with something better than this. What do you think? We are stupid? You brought this up. And you could tell me, Candace just had it. And it was beautiful. It was the most real, natural, authentic sense of it. Exasperation, but also being insulted. It's like, how stupid do you think we are? How stupid do you think we are? I mean, that was probably the most incredible thing in the world. You must think we're just dumb, but we're not dumb. We're anything but dumb. And that's the beautiful part about this. Another thing too is, I want to go back to this. Don't ever think this is a game. Certainly, I can't speak for Candace, but don't ever think this is a game. Somebody's got to speak for Charlie. She never talks about him. She talks about him almost like this obligatory sense. She doesn't mean it. There's no there. There's no compassion. She is the person trying to figure out what empathic affect looks like. She's trying her best to explain to people what things look like. Seriously. It's like this is the years ago, when people were becoming a little bit attuned to the notion of what spectrum disorders were, Asperger's and the like. There were people who would actually go to the movies and see and watch and try to learn how people reacted for certain things. How do they act on a date, when they meet somebody, when they laugh? What do they do? How do they act? What is the best? How do you when you talk to somebody, do you look at them in the eye? Do you nod? Do you look them in the eye? This is not to mock them at all, but it's somebody who is explaining. Let me explain to you how this thing works. That's what happens. That's what happens with Erika. She doesn't know. She really doesn't know. She thought I can go out there and wow people. Whiz. I could whiz. The only thing about whizzing is that she's pissing us off. But she thought she could somehow do this by virtue of who she was and this grandeur that she thought she enjoyed. This grandeur. Donovan says, have you seen the comparison video of Erika side by side with other grieving widows? Oh, yes. Even the grieving mother of the State of the Union. Oh, yes. I brought that up. And I hate when people say that. I wasn't the only one, but I mentioned that when that happened. You could see Erika was kind of like saying, wow, is that your grieving widow? Is that good? But she was a mother. Oh, I see. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I might learn. How do you hold your head? Do you look up? Do you ever do one of these? She looks here. Okay. If straight ahead is middle of the clock, she's 12 versus. She always looks up. I guess you're going to kick your instep. Say Bali guy. Come on, dab the eyes, do like this, and then there's the look, the laser look, that fierce, cold, steel, meaningless, feelingless, horrible, that flat affect. Stop. Stan Littman says, remember Von Meter? Absolutely. Von Meter, of course, the first family who was famous for his JFK administration imitation, and probably remembers where he was when when JFK was killed. Going back to, again, not to be too clinical. This is not a, how do I say this? She's not a psychopath. A psychopath is indifferent to this, does not care about this. We'll do a little bit of chicanery and legerdemain and kind of sleight of hand in order to make some kind of initial contact. But that's not what a psychopath does. Psychopath doesn't care about this. Narcissist might, but psychopath, no. They'll fool you, but they don't want you to admire them. They couldn't care less. Erika wants to be loved. Repeat after me. She wants to be loved. I'm sorry to say this clinically. There's a part of her which is very sad. If you put her on the couch, you can find out there's a part of her that's empty. There's a part of her that's it's not just, I'm going to go out and be a con. I've got this. The mother's like, oh, by the way, she even did this to her mother. Her mother recently, who has this mysterious disease. And by the way, I wish, I don't want to laugh about somebody's mother, somebody being sick. That's not it. But she even took a picture of that. She had a picture of her showing, see, I'm the grief. You see how I feel? Let me explain something to you. One of my theories that I have advanced for years is that of auto-mourn. Anybody who's listening to me knows about auto-mourn. And whenever somebody dies of note, whenever somebody dies in the world of, I don't know, music or Hollywood or whatever, people will come out and say, oh my God, the Charmin toilet paper man, whoever, I'm dating myself. Oh my God. R.I.P. buddy. No words, breathless, no word. The Charmin Dick, it was Dick somebody. That's, or they'll say, oh my, I'm not trying to mock death, but they want to show you that they are sidelined by this. They're so waylaid. They are so, not because they care, but they want to know what it feels like to care. So they imitate somebody who cares to the point of ridiculous. They don't even know where to stop. It's just like Dan Bongina when he decided to go crazy, cash his check a little early after the trailer. Didn't even wait. That's like yelling, "This joke is obscene," before the punchline. JFK says, Lionel, Candace gave you your flowers and expressed heartfelt admiration for all that you do. Please continue to share your profound wisdom and unique perspective with us. Take care. Thank you. I got to go back and watch this. I can't believe I missed this. Only child doesn't like others getting attention. Maybe. But there's something about it. If you sat down, here's what I would love to do. See, I just love complex behaviors. I love complex behaviors. I love, and to also kind of outsmart him just a little bit. I knew somebody one time who loved, he was kind of like a boss, so to speak, but not really, kind of intermediary boss. Anyway, he didn't feel like he was, I don't know. He loved to yell at people. So one time he yelled at me and I closed the door and I said, that was pretty good. But next time I would move up to the yelling at the end. Don't start off with the yell because it doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I think people are buying it. Very good. Work on it though. I think he got something there. And I walked away. And it was like, yes, I see right through you. I know what you're doing. Remember the great Conman. Remember the Hillside Strangler, Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono. Remember the Hillside Strangler. And Kenneth Bianchi thought he was a genius. He was a genius. And he pretended he had different personalities. And he was in hypnosis. And he wasn't in hypnosis, but he was pretending he was. And at one point he said, he said, give me a Kleenex or a tissue or something. He said, and he went to grab, and the person said, gotcha. He said, in hallucination, you don't text during any kind of hypnosis. You don't do that. You don't do that because you're in a trance. Trance people don't grab. You're not able to gotcha. And he explained that you didn't do your research. You don't touch things or grab things. And he said, but he thought he was such a genius. But here's the thing. What do you think she would want to hear more than anything else? Let me tell you this much. Very simply. Here's a list, put top to 10, take a piece of paper, line down the middle, Candace and Erika. Write the top 10 things you would think Candace would want to hear about herself and the top 10 things that Erika would want to hear about herself. And when you're done, what do you think Candace would want to hear? What do you think she'd want to hear? In no particular order. Honest, truthful, brave, smart, devout, Christian, good Catholic, good wife, good, respectable. I think everybody would, listen, let's face it. I mean, to a certain extent, nobody wants to look like a gargoyle or look like Anne Ramsey. Remember her? Throw Mama from the train. Remember her? What a great actress. But I don't think people want to go, I just want to be happy, beautiful. That's not the primary consideration. But if somebody throws it in, hey, what are you going to do? So what? That's nice. Erika, what do you think she'd want? Top 10. First and foremost, more than anything else, hot. Not beautiful. Listen to what I'm saying. Not beautiful. Not attractive. Not gorgeous. Not elegant. Not beautiful. No. Hot. HAWT. Hot. Hot. That means something. Where you are in a sense lusting. Why? So she can play the Pollyanna, walk around and say, oh, I do declare. Are you making eyes at me, Parson Brown? I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just a single mother. Do you like the way I look? Do you fancy the way I like? I sure do declare. I'm out of julep, Pastor. Is there any more? Don't look at me with them furtive eyes. Oh, God. The reluctant beauty. Oh, stop it. There I was walking down the street, singing do-I-diddy, diddy-dum-diddy. And somebody said, Erika, I said, yes, we have enrolled you in a pageant. You've done what? in a pageant. Oh, Lordy, no. Oh, I can't do that. Why? I'm just a tomboy. I just want to climb trees. I'm an entrepreneur. I got so many I got all my businesses and my name them. I don't know. Small engine repair. I got a tall and big man shop in Beijing. Not doing very well, but doing the best I can. But I can't be in a. What is this now? Miss what? Miss Arizona? I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlett. And I don't know nothing about no pageants. I'm just an American girl who just loves the Lord. I'm reading the cover to cover the Bible. How far have I gone? Page 30. Took me 6 months, but I had to take it all in. You don't want to rush these things. But I guess I'll go ahead now, give it a shot. Next thing you know, I'll be doggone. I won. It's my first time. My first time. Did you know that? What was that? You have my record? What do you mean my record? Oh, why have I been in pageants most of my life? Well, yeah. See, I was encouraged then too. People came up to me then. Did you know that? Did you know that? People came up to me then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure did. All my life, people have said, we're going to put you up for the Nobel Prize. You'll work on particle physics. Schrodinger's cat. Oh, no, not that again. I'm also brainy. Did I tell you that? And I tap dance real good, too. You've got to be kidding me. Dear God, just. But it's the most beautiful and beauteous thing. And have you noticed this? Every now and then they'll regurgitate this anti-Candace thing. You see that? Candace always like, oh, shut up with that. Would you stop? Candace always, stop it. Just stop it. Leave her alone, for God's sakes. Nobody believes this stuff. I am telling you, it is one of the most incredibly beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Great networking on Arizona Parish Fair. Yes. And also, did you realize how she's always, what did Candace say? She's always with her mother, too. That's always a tell. Her mother says, go ahead, baby. Go ahead and do it. Mama, should I do that? Come on. Miss Nude World? Did you think so? Well, all right, I'll give it a shot. I guess. I don't know. This oh, God. You can see. Let me ask you something. If you did want to come across to the point where you were reluctant, how would you play that? She's got the Miss Arizona thing. What you do is you don't talk about it. You sound like, wow, what was it? That was a long time ago. You don't downplay it like it was a mistake. Like, you weren't paying attention and you spilled coffee when you were driving and ran into a tree and totaled the car. Oops. You don't want to make it sound. He goes, it was very interesting. It was a very interesting, and I met a lot of great people. That's it. Understated. That's how you get them, because they'll ask you, well, how was it? I said, well, I don't want to. It was very interesting. Some great, always sound like you were very nice, wonderful people. And it was very nice to represent my state. Any other questions about that? That's it. You ever talk to a war hero? You ever talk to true war heroes? Did anybody here have a grandfather, an uncle, somebody who was in war who never talked about it? Never. Ever seen these shows on TV? All these ones? There I was SEAL Team 6. I was in Fallujah. I took out the entire city. There I was with an M4, a grenade, and tweezers. And I went in. I was in the CIA. I was in SEAL Team. I was Delta. I was a Delta commando. Oh, yes, I was Delta and commando. Stolen valor almost. You know what we need to do is, what would you call the name for stolen beauty? When you pretend you're beautiful or you're a pageant, but you're not. Stolen schmaltz? I don't know what you want to call it. Emma says, Lionel, we'd love to see your live reaction to Candace's mention. It was in the last 2 minutes of her show. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I've got a friend of mine. This is so great. Listen to this. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. There's all these great jokes about people who who name drop or whatever it is. We don't do that. My wife is the worst. Because before when she was, a youngin', she was in work with Broadway and knows so many people. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I know. Who? Why didn't you tell me? I don't know. Everybody's got to tell everybody everything. Well, I've got a friend of mine who I've never gotten. I shouldn't say that. He's never, whatever I've done, it's always like, oh, it's okay. But he said, who was it? Candace liked or texted me or retweeted me. I got this feeling. He goes, dude. He speaks like this. I said, you're 43 years old. Why do you sound like that? Dude, what? You know Candace? Oh, stop. What she's saying about me now, I milked it. You know her? She probably doesn't want me to admit it, but yeah, I said, yeah, I said, we agreed a long time ago. It might be a good idea just to I don't even know her. I said, pfft. God, let me see who's president now. I mean, it was just so there's this. I'm going to go berserk now and say, I'm sorry, I was going to get back with you sooner, but you know what? You know how that Candace is. Well, she decided. I said, listen, don't mention me, but by God, she did. You know how she is. And he's, see, here is the thing. Who were the stars today? Who were the stars? Who? Rogan? Tucker? Stars. Candace. There's these two women. I'll tell you, I don't know the name of their show. I don't know. They're really rare. And you ever seen like there's certain styles I like. There's like Maureen Callahan. You ever hear just bust balls like you cannot believe? I love that. I love it. But these two, I don't know their name. And politically, it's like, oh, okay. Well, one day, I think I told you this the other day. They listened to Candace for the first time. Oh, no. They said, one said, this is me responding. This is me listening to Candace. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Well, well, I have never, ever, ever heard Candace say something where I thought, dude, as the kids would say, no, where'd you get that from? Never. I'd like to be there. Excuse me. Anytime you need me to explain this, yes, let me tell you what she just said. So anyway, we're talking. And she said, well, they started off because a lot of times, let's face it, they're jealous of Candace. Jealous. You only take flack when you're over the target, right? Well, you're jealous. If you're making money, you're doing well, and everybody's talking about you. Everybody. No. Everybody. You ever heard anybody say, did you hear what Joe Rogan said? I mean, one time they did. Remember that COVID business where he had to apologize? That was it. I mean, he said he doesn't. I mean, people. Did you hear what Rick Beato said to Gilmore about the pentatonic? What? Who the hell does he think? No. Doesn't happen. Did you hear what Tucker said? No, I mean, it's never. It's not right or wrong. It's just maybe he says so. I don't know. You just don't hear it. About Tucker, about Candace. Candace can tell you the truth. Candace can say it's Wednesday. Did you hear her? Did you hear her say it was Wednesday? Blow off Tuesday like that? Well, it was Wednesday. It doesn't matter. Did you see that? So anyway, these two were talking. They said, I wasn't really a big Candace. So then I saw Erika for the first time. Because I always tell people, you never saw Erika, did you? No. Let me send you something. You never saw Erika, did you? No. Let me send you something. Well, I think it's pretty rotten, the fact that this woman, you never saw her, right? You think she's just the widow? Yeah. Let me send you something. You watch this and then get back on me. Huh? Just watch this and then call me back. And sure enough, you get the call. Dude, because that's what kids say. I think. Wow. You haven't. Remember when you had that? Oh no. when you get it, like, oh no. It's like that epiphany moment, like, this woman's crazy. This woman. And because at first, you don't notice, if you saw Erika for just one time only, you'd say, all right, I know. You wouldn't think anything. Watch it again. What do you mean? Watch it again. And then you say, oh. Then it looks kind of hard. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, let me show you another one. Oh my God. See? And that's the way it will be. See the way it's plastic. It's not real. So these two women, I don't even know the name of their show. But anyway, at the end, they said, Erika, they said fake, phony, everybody without any, put it this way. I always tell people, if you like her, meaning, and let's face it, we haven't met her, but I haven't met a lot of people in the world. I never met Marshall Tito either. I don't think I want to meet her. But if you think you like her, you don't know who she is. If you don't know, if you think, I think she's pretty good, you've never heard her. You've never heard her. Look at this. Hear from Candace. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. So anyway, so where's this thing going? First, somebody somewhere is going to say, that's enough. Somebody from TPUSA or some lawyer, somebody's going to have to sit down and say, we want to do something for you right now. We don't want to make this a problem, but they will force her out. They will threaten her with some kind of if you're doing something, it's almost like a morals clause. When you do something that brings ignominy, shame, and, reputational disfigurement, by you being there, they have the right to exercise a morals clause and to remove you. Well, somebody somewhere is going to get a hold of her and say, you have to go. You got enough money. You got 20, 30, 40, 50 million bucks. They tried to make Erika babyface, but she's a heel. Oh, yes. No, she tried to go babyface. They didn't. She did. But you're right about that, using their wrestling analogy. But what's happened is they're going to tell her, you're going to have to go. Because we can't, you're starting new battles, new fires. We have things to do. Remember what TPUSA wanted to do? Somebody mentioned real estate and development and properties. And I could see, I never read this, but I could see them having communities, TPUSA campuses, where you have villages and then a religion, because that's what L. Ron Hubbard said. You want a religion, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a religion per se, but it can be a church. It can be a church, and you can be like that creepy guy on the weekends, or whoever these people are. You can be a mega church. You can do whatever. That's where they're going. That's where they want to go. And if you do that, sky's the limit. Oh my God, it is you get the tax exemption. It's beautiful, but you can't do this with all eyes on her. You can't do that. And don't be surprised too if a lot of other people, legitimate people, a lot of great people in the business say, we don't appreciate what you're doing because you're making a mockery out of us. See, every time there was a Jim Baker who fell, every time there was any kind of a rupture or fracture in the message, Jim Baker or Jimmy Swaggart, I have sinned. You remember that? Everybody heard. So I think REM said the best. So they're going to go back to her and they're going to say, that's enough, Erika. How much? And if you don't leave, we're going to have to make you leave because you're killing the brand. You are hurting the brand. And wait till now, I don't know about you, but you know that every time she speaks, I'm there, I'm watching, but I'm watching for the wrong reason. I'm not there to listen to her, the good word of truth. I want to see her make a fool out of herself. And that's not what you want. So in any event, well, dear friends, what a night it has been. What a rare mood I'm in. I am going to go and I'm going to check through this, and I'm going to look through what Ms. Candace said. If you are brand new to this, welcome and thank you for this. Thank you immensely. thank you immensely for this. And I mean this sincerely. I also want to say thank you for your kind words. And what I really want to also say, which is very, very critical, is this. My hero, my beloved wife, Lynn Shaw from Lynn's Warriors, has her channel, Lynn's Warriors. And do you know what she did today? Do you know what her colleagues did and her fellow warriors did? They were watching a House hearing or Capitol Hill hearing on an attempt. It's called COSA and other forms of legislation designed to protect children. And there are factions of the government trying to gut any part of this that has teeth, any kind of duty of care. The rigors, the horrors of what we're seeing specifically involving child predation and the like online is unbelievable. They had parents testifying who lost their kids through sextortion or lost their kids because by virtue of buying fentanyl or something. The scariest, every parent should be aware of this. So while we're talking about this, she was watching this all day long and talking between breaks to these parents that she's known. It is a thankless, horrible, heartbreaking world to see. You want to talk about serious? You want to talk about somebody trying to take somebody or trying not to exploit, but you want to see sadness? How about when you're at a meeting and the parent comes up and brings you a gold coin and says, "This is my daughter, this is Lacey, or this is my son, Max, or this is," they took their own life. They're not here anymore. Sextortion, Nigeria, it's nobody's talking about that, but she is. And if you want to see what she's talking about, and also how the pornography today that we're seeing, even the word is wrong. There's child sexual abuse material, CSAM. It is so horrible when you see kids today who are not yet even familiar with, we used to call it, remember, the birds and the bees. You remember this? The birds and the bees. There are people who have no idea of what they're talking about, and they're watching this violent, abusive form of sex where they don't know what's real. And girls are showing up in the emergency room. Because young boys are thinking this is the way they're seeing this violence. This is not the way it was in the 60s. This wasn't Hugh Hefner today. It is a state of predation. It is a victimization of our kids, the likes of which you cannot believe. And kids cannot, the brain stops developing at 25. They don't have the judgment centers to understand this. And big tech. You want to talk about having a congressional control? Big tech, Silicon Valley. They own our government. They own it. And look anyway. So follow her at Lynn's Warriors. It would mean the world to me. On YouTube at Lynn's Warriors, yes. She is just, you can't believe these stories. Our good friend Donovan says, Erika is a patron saint of lies. Might very well be. Could very well be. It's sad to say this. I don't even know if I hate to say it, but I don't even know sometimes if she's not very bright. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's actually a defense. Some of this stuff I think is not her fault because she's just not very bright. She's clumsily focused on some kind of the adaptation and the perpetuation of an image or a visage, but I don't think she has the intellectual wherewithal or the emotional firepower or the commitment to consistency to pulling it off. If you want to be a good confidence man, you better know your routine. You better know the act and know what you're trying to portray. In any event, so Candace, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go back right now and watch. I can't believe this. I had her all set up. I was saying hello and doing some things, and next thing you know, I don't know what I'm doing. You get to a certain point where sometimes the phone calls up and it's the doctor. You got to take a call. Anyway, thank you so much, my friends. Again, hand farts to you and yours. That's my sign of peace. That's my power to you. It's a sign of love. Remember that. So anyway, my friends, we'll see you tomorrow. By the way, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I don't know what that means. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel, which I think you already have. And I'm going to have some questions coming up. Thank you so much. Follow Candace. Support her 100%. She has brought us. I have met the greatest people through this turmoil, namely you. And for that, I will be forever grateful. Thank you, my friends. Have a great and a glorious night. Until we meet again, remember this valedictory, this denouement, this sayonara, this finale. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da da. See you tomorrow.